Yo, what's up, AV Pro fam? It's actually Daniels here, and today we're going to be discussing the new Cyberpunk game named Project Orion. But before we do, can I please remind you to click that subscribe button, guys, if you like our content. Click that bell notification if you want to be notified every time we release a new video. And if you like this video, guys, give us a thumbs up. It'd be much appreciated. Right, guys, Project Orion. So it was announced last year, I believe, that CG Project Red were creating a new game in the Cyberpunk universe, and it was codenamed Project Orion. Now, what we are aware of, guys, is Cyberpunk 2077 didn't exactly release how it was intended to. There was a lot of features that were advertised in the trailers which weren't actually in the game. And to be honest with you guys, it was a bit of a letdown. Now, don't get me wrong, the experience has got better as they've released new patches, as they've released the DLCs like Phantom Liberty, and the overall running of the game is a lot smoother than what it used to be, granted. But let's be honest, guys, the game released terribly, and the game feels a lot less how it was meant to feel. Like, the way they advertised it was meant to be like this new next generation experience, futuristic, this ultimate open world game. We were meant to get all these interiors. The storyline was meant to be next gen, you know what I mean? And the graphics were meant to be outstanding. It was meant to be this really stable experience and all this sort of stuff. And we were meant to have trams and all that. Now, guys, since then, since release, we are getting a tram network. We've had mod support, which has dramatically improved the gaming experience of Cyberpunk 2077. We've had interiors added to the game, like for these apartments and stuff like that. So there has been features added, guys, granted, but it's still not what it made out to be, in my view. The game was meant to have, well, there was it made it look like it was going to have a lot more interiors to begin with, guys. You've got all those buildings, and hardly any of them are enterable. And the ones that are, some of them we can't even access after we've done the missions. So that was a bit of a letdown, guys, to be honest with you. The storyline felt decent, but it did not feel next gen. I'd probably say my favourite mission out of all of them is the final mission, guys, where they have to break in, and they got all that action-packed scenes and all that sort of stuff, and they go in with the rebels, and that to me is my favourite mission. I will say there was other great missions out there, guys, that definitely, hit that superb superstar, really good level of gameplay. But what I will say, guys, is the game was not how it was meant to be, from a consumer's perspective, anyway. So, Project Orion. This is the next entry into the Cyberpunk series. We do not know anything about it. We just know it is named Project Orion. Now, we could talk all day about what could be in it, but I'm only going to name some of the things which I think should be in the game, and which I think will be in the game, and which I hope CD Projekt Red will implement into the game from the experiences they've had from the backlash of Cyberpunk 2077. Right, so first of all, guys, I'm going to say it straight off the bat, and this has got nothing to do with the story or the offline mode, but multiplayer. We were promised multiplayer for Cyberpunk 2077, and we didn't get it. Sadly, they took it off. I really do think multiplayer could play a massive part in keeping this game going for many, many years. So I think Project Orion should definitely have a multiplayer component. What type of multiplayer it is, whether or not it's a free roam mode, or whether or not it's battle modes, or verse modes, I don't know, but I definitely think that this game could definitely do with a multiplayer component. And I think the size of the map, if they go with the same map, Night City, and just implement more things into Project Orion, it's definitely a good sizable map to add a multiplayer component, and I definitely think they should. Secondly, guys, interiors. I think that interiors are a massive thing for any city. It's really boring if you're just outside all the time driving around. I definitely think that having more interiors would definitely be something that this game should do. You've got loads of games right now that have kind of taken that advice and are implementing more interiors as they upgrade their games. But hopefully, with Cyberpunk Orion, it is on a mass scale, because I found that 2077 was a bit of a letdown when it came to interiors. Destructible environments, guys. I did notice in some of the missions, you shot some of the walls did break up, and destructible environments aren't like a must, but I definitely think it adds to the immersion, and I think for a game like Cyberpunk, it definitely would make sense to add destructible environments. The game just makes sense to have it. It is an action futuristic game. The environment should respond to the situations that happen within the game, including what you do. So I think destructible environments are a must, guys, because it does add to that immersive experience. Graphics, obviously, as time goes on, graphics do go up and they do look better as we've seen for games like Grand Theft Auto 6. We could tell from the trailer that the graphics are a lot better than what they were for Grand Theft Auto 5, and that is only natural as time progresses in technology. Well, with Project Orion, I think the graphics are going to be something that naturally progresses. But I wouldn't say, guys, that it is a substantial thing that needs to improve. But it would be nice to see better graphics. I mean, with Cyberpunk 2077, especially on last gen consoles, I did find the graphics didn't look the greatest, especially when you compare them to other games on that gen, like Red Dead Redemption 2. So yeah, guys, graphic upgrade would be a good thing from CD Projekt Red. Let's go straight into the overall gameplay, guys. Gameplay mechanics. I thought the gameplay mechanics for Cyberpunk 2077 were really good, but do I think that they could improve for Cyberpunk Orion? Absolutely, guys. Maybe making the UI a bit more easier to use for people who aren't used to RPGs, because to be honest with you guys, I wasn't used to RPGs before the likes of The Witcher and Cyberpunk and all those sort of things. So I really would appreciate a more simpler UI. I mean, I've gotten used to it now, but there's going to be people like I was who are going to go into Orion not having experience with RPGs, and a simpler UI would be a really good thing. Right, guys. I also think that third person should be an option in Project Orion. I think the third person, although it has been implemented by a mod onto Cyberpunk 2077, I think it should be something that's added by the developers naturally on release when Orion comes out. I think that we should have an option between third and first person, guys. I thought the first person's great, but I think that some, like myself, I'm used to playing games in third person, and I think having a third person option within the game would be really good, and it would give people more options on how they play the game. Yo guys, sorry for interrupting this video, but I've got an important announcement to tell you all. We're affiliated with a company that is offering a game development course. That's right, guys, this thing covers AI, Unity, Unreal Engine, ChatGPT, you name it, it is in here. So if you're an aspiring game developer and want to know how to get stuck in, this is the course for you. This covers on how AI is used in game development. It'll cover on how to use Unity, on how to use Unreal Engine, ChatGPT, the full shebang, guys. It is in this course. It is $49.99. I'll convert it to British pounds up here, guys. I definitely recommend this course, guys. I mean, if you don't know how to get into game development, then this is the thing for you guys, because there's lots of people who wonder, how the hell do I get into a game development company? How do I start my own games? Well, this will tell you all of that information, guys, and it will give you the knowledge you need to be a successful game developer. So if you're interested, guys, I'll leave the link down in the description. Go and give it a look if you're interested, and yeah, let's get straight back into the video. Characters, guys. I think they should keep Keanu Reeves. He's probably one of my favourite characters, Johnny Silverhand. I definitely think that V, I mean, I felt that V was very... I didn't feel like it was the most compelling character to play, especially when you came from a first person perspective. I guess they wanted to, I get that they wanted to add the realism to it, but I just kind of felt like I wasn't connected to V like I am to the likes of Arthur Morgan or something like that. So I kind of want a character that has more emotion and a character that you feel more connected to. I didn't really feel that for V. There were some moments that felt really emotional, but it wasn't one of those games where I would say the character was in the spotlight, if that makes sense. I kind of felt like it probably would have been better to play Jonathan Silverhand throughout the entire game, but I get that that's not how the story went, so you just got to respect that that's what the developers want. But maybe for Orion they could add a more compelling character to play. And finally, guys, my final overview of the game. Obviously, we know that Cyberpunk 2077 came out really buggy. Um, a non-buggy game coming out on release, it doesn't happen, guys. There's always some bugs. Developers always miss things, and we got to remember these people are humans. But yeah, a game that is not buggy, not laggy, and also a game that is truthful, to what the trailers are showing. So, like, if the trailers show this, and if you're projecting the trailer to show the game how it's, how we're gonna view it, then it should look like that when we buy the game. Like trams and all those sort of things, which were shown in the game and in the gameplay trailers, but weren't actually in the game on release. And that's about it on my view of Orion so far, guys. I mean, there's not much more I can say about the game. I could go on all day about things we want, but I just thought that those were the main things that we should have in the game. There's going to be lots more that people think should be in the game. There's going to be lots of people who think, oh, I'm not going to waste my money with the company after what happened the first time. But guys, I do trust CD Projekt Red. It is a very difficult thing to go from, a medieval fantasy game to a futuristic open world game. It was very different for the developers. They hadn't done it before, and we got to respect that. I do think that communication also should have been a bit more from the developers to the public, but that's just how the gaming world goes sometimes, guys, and everything in general, I guess, these days. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are on the game. Do you think that Orion will be successful? Do you think that the features I've mentioned it should be in the game? Is there any features that you would like to see in the game? Comment down below your thoughts, guys. We'd really appreciate it. But except for that, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.